Well, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. We are live.
Wonderful. Hello,
So
everybody. How are the peoples everywhere?
we really got to figure out this whole transition thing coming off of DTNS.
You know.
With DTNS live, it's been a little more awkward than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Suboptimal, one might say.
I'm not worried about it. Not many people are watching us live. It's all about the recorded. So, hi, everybody. Let's see here. I am going to go to
What a week
Foldable.com. Yes,
for
what a
Apple
week.
stuff.
It's just like literally you just go to the homepage, Amos. Like we just go one after another. Boom. The homepage is like, what's here? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Hello, everybody who's here. Let's see. Okay. What is happening, everybody?
What iPad do you have? You have the Pro?
Yeah, the 11 inch.
M,
The one. I have Apple Intelligence. Oops.
Is it the M4 or the M2?
Hold on one sec. I'm so bad at knowing what exactly I have. Specs wise, I have the 11. Hold on. Where is? Sorry, I have a lot of stuff going on my desk here right now.
The point or the beta 2 of the 0.4 release for iPad OS comes with a new note.
It does? Okay. I haven't done beta in a while, and I feel like I need to for the iPad now.
It says
I turned it off.
This is an Apple confidential pre-release seed. Like normally this banner doesn't come up, it just updates.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Apple Store. Oh, please. Product. Oh, man, I hate it when it switches to... There we go. Go back there. It is the Pro 11-inch. I thought I had the M1 or M3. What do I have? Hold on. Which one do you have? You have the Pro, right?
I have the Pro M4 11-inch.
Mm-hmm. 4th generation. This is 2 years old. 2 years old, by the way. That's why I'm like, wait, which one do I have? Yeah, I have the M3. The M3 is the one I have. Yeah. Nope, hold on. No, M2. It is the M2. Sorry. M2. I'm like, wait, M3 seems like that was last year, which I did not get a new iPad last year.
I think they skipped M3 for the pros though.
I see one here. Oh, you're right. For the 11. No, I see it. Oh, yeah. For Air, they gave the M3 to the 11-inch Air. And the Pro 11-inch went straight to M4.
From M2 to
Yeah.
M4. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have the M2. And sorry, which one do you have again?
The M4 11 Pro.
You have the 11. Okay, right. Because because you got yours last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Got mine the year before.
Yeah, late summer last year.
Yeah. Okay. Copy that. So many. There's just so many. I'm like, which one do I? Which one did I get from? Even my own MacBook. You know, I'm like, oh no, I know this is an M1, but it's But I got it in 2020. It's 2021, 14-inch. It's older. It's older.
I've got the,
but it still works.
13-inch.
I meant to show. I think I still have my old iPad or my MacBook Air. I never sold it back. I believe this is an 11-inch. Let's see. Yeah, so I can't even turn it on. I know it's dead, but yeah. The only reason why I kept it is that it is the only laptop that I have that has a functioning version of Movie Magic, which for production is essential for larger size productions. This is the only one that has it. It's the only one that I can use because they've upgraded the software, and you have to pay. Well, I already paid for it here, so I can keep using it on this, which I haven't used in like a couple years now. But
and it's a device license. You can't transfer the license over to your new one. That's silliness.
Yeah. Now you're making me wanna. I'm gonna charge it right now.
mine won't turn on. It won't get past the pre-boot sequence. So.
Oh, really?
That's why it's just sitting there. But it's from 2012, and I had upgraded it beyond its OS capabilities, and had done all the things to keep it going for as long as possible. And then one day, I got a new battery installed on it right before they stopped doing maintenance on that particular model, and like 3 months later, I turned it on and it booted up and just shut down and never turned back on.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So then I went out and panic bought my M1 MacBook Pro, the 13-inch. And I would love a new MacBook Pro, but I don't even use the one I have enough to justify it. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You start kind of thinking about, well, what do I really use? So which one do I need to upgrade until it like cannot be used anymore? Like the way Sarah used her Mac Mini until it just couldn't be, it was not capable.
I use it like CES. I used it every day, of course.
Because you're on the road,
it's still a great functioning machine. It's just that normal daily use, I don't use it at all. Yeah. I've got my Mac Studio right here. I've got 2 M1 Mac Minis, And I got a gaming rig out in the other room. Like, I don't have any need for a laptop in my life on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have. It's nice that it runs as well as it does.
Yeah.
But I don't have any need to upgrade it because I don't use it often enough.
Oh, that makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Rob Gurman and BioCow are in the chat.
Hello.
gentlemen.
Hello. This is like slowly booting up. I have a feeling if I unplug it from the, cable here, it just will go away. Let's see.
And there is Ralphie, and joining Ralphie is Sarah.
Hello.
Ralphie and I watched Flow yesterday. Have you guys seen the animated movie?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So it's interesting.
It's
it
the
won
coming of
Best
age one,
Animated Film at the Oscars,
Mm-hmm.
but it was made with like a publicly available like AI program.
Oh.
I forget the name of it offhand. But yeah, like it was just like 12 people worked on the movie. It's so cute. You don't have to be a cat lover to like the movie because there's dogs and capybaras and all sorts of other creatures in the movie. It's really cute though. Yes. However, the star of the show is a black kitty who looks frighteningly like Ralphie. So
Aw.
we were, he was just like he was like watching it like this. He was like, "It's me. Is that me?" So cute. So cute.
Okay.
How's Seven doing, Eileen?
Oh, Seven's on an adventure walk right now with his group.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. He is
With your husband or like
no,
on an
this
actual
is our-
adventure walk?
An actual adventure walk with our trainers. So they have like 12 dogs and they go out to the
fun.
somewhere. They go out to a park or whatever to get them used to, being out and about and hearing traffic.
Being a part of a pack.
Yeah, being part of a
Yeah.
pack. Because, when we take him, it's just us, right? So,
Yeah.
it's nice to see him just kind of like be focused and, be behaved on the walk and all that
And-
stuff.
and come home
amongst other
tired.
dogs. And come home tired.
That's
Yes,
definitely the
yes.
goal. Yeah, I've been thinking about. Otis is fine, but there are just certain weeks where I'm like, I just, I can take you. I'll take you out in the morning. You're going to be able to do your thing.
Yeah.
But I can kind of do the bare minimum. That's all I
Yeah.
can do. And, for a day or two, who cares? Like yesterday it was raining. It's like he didn't want to be out anyway.
Yeah.
But then there are other days where I know he wants to run and just be a dog, and just, be with other dogs. And yeah, we're going to have to think about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I say think about that, it means daycare, not that I'm getting rid of my dog.
Yeah.
I would not ever do that, but yeah. So I added a couple
Yay.
links, Eileen, to the rundown.
Yay. Okay.
Yay. Sorry, this looks weird. This should look like something.
Oh, it just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna format it. You are, Amos.
I was copying it.
Okay. I'll do the next one from Gear Patrol. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Thursday, here we are.
Thursday, everybody. Hello. Seems like this is the day that's going to work out better.
Yeah.
Certainly this week at least.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not only did it work out better for all three of us, but it also worked better for the news.
It did. Yeah.
True.
I mean, it
Yeah,
could have been
that's
yesterday,
true.
but yeah. No, this is if it were, we'll take it, week by week, but
Yeah.
I think this does actually work best for me
Yeah.
because Thursday is otherwise kind of my least packed day. So,
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
like two shows in a row. Okay, I can do that. 5 shows in a row.
Yeah.
A little testy.
That's a little, yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
no.
You
No.
know how it is. You know how it is.
Yep. All right.
Okay. So, well, what do you think? Ready to do
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. We got a lot. I was telling Amos, I was like, just go on the Apple
Oh.
homepage and you'll see everything there.
I know, right? One thing. Oh, okay. I thought we had an Apple Vision Show email, but it was someone just asking, like, "Are you still with DTNS?" Because
I
they
know.
are not familiar with the different shows that
Right.
we're doing now. I
Right,
will
right.
respond to them back.
Okay.
I had kind of seen it. I'm like, oh, we have an email. I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, that's not really about our show.
Be like, nope. I hate those people. They're so disgusting. They
Yeah.
bother me all the time, constantly.
DTNS, don't even
Yeah.
ever say that name to me again.
Don't never talk similarly.
Yeah. Before we start, Amos, what is that big blue thing behind you?
This is the box for my Logitech G Pro steering wheel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for my racing rig.
Oh,
It's
fun.
It's been here for a while, but it's usually
Has
off
it?
camera over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just didn't, I feel
So-
like I would have seen it before because I'm
Well,
like, ooh, it
it's
looks
usually-
like, like a dress box.
Over here, you got the TV, the old hotel TV that doesn't work anymore. That's just basically it needs to get thrown, recycled. Beyond that is where this box usually is, but underneath that box is all my large print printer paper for like photo printing and things like that.
Oh, cool.
And I was doing some of that this weekend. We had family photos, and I finally got done editing those, and I was printing some out for display on our walls. And I had to get to the paper, so I had to move the box over. So that's why it's yeah.
Got it. I might actually
So, yeah.
save this for the show.
So there's
Okay.
And I will. I'm going to.
Okay.
All right, fine. All right, I'll count myself in. Is that how we do this? Boy, it's been a
Yeah.
long week and it's only
Yep.
Thursday. All right.
as soon as I disappear, you can start counting yourself in.
Okie dokie. All right, here we go. Apple Vision Show, episode 51 in 3, 2. Welcome, everybody, back to Apple Vision Show, the show that covers all things Apple. We break down how Apple products affect your life, how you would like them to affect your life differently, and everything in between. Eileen Rivera, it's episode 51. How the heck are you?
51. I am doing well. I am, it's nice to see rain in our area, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's a little more
Los
moist
Angeles,
out
we
there.
like rain these days.
We do.
That's what we do. Yeah.
So yeah, doing well. And then, as I was prepping for the show, just went on apple.com and looked at it and went, okay, 1, 2, how many new products do we have, Sarah? There's so much going on. And it had me thinking about, what do I even have? Amos in the pre-show was just asking me, wait, what version of iPad do you have? And I was just like, it's 11 inch and it's an M2. I know this, but I also have a MacBook. It just got me thinking about, what versions do I actually have? Like, I honestly
Right. Yeah.
just buy it, and then at the time I know what I have because it's the latest model, and then I just kind of forget it, right? So then when all of these new products come out, I'm like, what do I have? And I literally thought I had an 11-inch MacBook Air that I just didn't I've stopped using and I didn't sell it. But no, it turns out it's another 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2017. I'm like, this is what I mean, Sarah. I'm like, I don't even know what
Yeah.
devices I have.
No, I definitely get that. And, to be fair, Apple introduced a lot of things this week. So
Yes.
you would be forgiven for being like, okay, what do I have? Do I
What
need
do I
something?
have?
Am I ready to upgrade? What is happening?
Exactly.
But so let's start with the MacBook Air. So the M4 MacBook Air is here. We got a 13 and a 15-inch model. And I sing the praises of MacBook Airs ever since I got my M1 in 2020. In November of 2020, so just under 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that little workhorse is a great machine. Now, granted, I'm not using that right this second. I'm using a brand new Mac Mini, which I also love, and I tricked it out. So this is designed to last me in my office for some time. But I love that Mac Mini. But I had been hearing rumors about, we've all been hearing rumors about the M1 MacBook Air. Oh my gosh, so many name conventions.
I know.
MacBook Air. Yes. And so earlier this week, when Apple talked about the new iPad Airs, which we'll get to in a second, I was like, oh man, is that all it is? Not that that's not cool.
Right.
And I was just like, I had told all these people like, oh, you want that M4 MacBook Air because I have the M1 and it's great. Like you get an M4 and, like max out on memory, like you're going to have that thing for 10 years. Anyway, we did get that update. So, pardon me, on Tuesday, it was the iPad Air announcement. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Apple, you were teasing it. Tim Cook was like, there's something in the air. So we knew it was going to be something Air related. And I thought that was all it was. But then we got the MacBook Air refresh, which is, I can't say enough about these machines. They are nice. If you're a MacBook Pro person and there's reasons for you to max out the specs on that machine, I get it. But they're getting close. They're really getting close to each other at this point.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at my MacBook Pro 14-inch M1 as compared to the new, 13-inch M4. And apart, there's a lot of, it's like you said, it's getting really, really close. The storage is still, lacking as compared to Pro. So it depends. Like, for me, I have a lot of data, I have a lot of video on here. So I want a little bit more storage capability without having to go to an external drive so soon. But if that's not what you do, it's like you said, it's getting real close here. And I have an M1 and this is an M4. Like, I don't know that I need to personally upgrade at this point, but it's really nice to see that, they're giving us more bang for the buck, and if people have, MacBooks that are even, older than mine, well, maybe you don't need a Pro anymore. Maybe you can just go Air, depending on what your needs are.
Well, a friend of mine was in the market for some sort of MacBook. She's a Mac user. She had a Pro that was right around I don't want to say it was like circa 2017 because okay, so let me backtrack on the story a little bit. So I bought when I left a corporate job where they had given me a MacBook, and it was a MacBook Pro. It was very nice. But when I left the job, I had to leave the computer because it wasn't mine. It was theirs. So I'm like, the next day I'm like, I need to buy a computer because I need to live my life. I had some older stuff, but I needed something that was modern. So it was 2016 and it was in, a very nice MacBook Pro, but Intel processor based. And that laptop took me through quite a few years. I actually used it even, to do a lot of podcasting where I would just, open it and then have an external monitor be like the better monitor. And eventually the display went kaput. I had to send it back to Apple. It was a whole thing, because it was really my only computer that I used. And so I didn't really have a computer for a couple of days. And that's not great when you're in the line of work that we're in.
Yeah.
But, it still exists. In fact, it's behind me somewhere. And, it works, but it really did degrade. It did.
Oh, okay.
It did.
Yeah.
And the M1 MacBook Air, again, different machine. But besides the fact that like sometimes I eat at my desk and like I'll spill a little bit on the MacBook Air every so often and be like, I'm sorry, and like clean it up. I mean, that thing is just a chugger. It will just go, go, go. It is great. And yes, I have 2 terabytes on that machine. So I don't have an issue with, going past local storage, not for what I do. So, I'm lucky there. But even if you had like 256, you could just, get an external drive for the stuff that you need and just make sure that you're, labeling things correctly and know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just looking. I have the like I said, I was looking for my old MacBook, which I thought was an Air, and it's not. And I also have the Intel machine, and I noted, okay, so it's 2017. So it was 4 years. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I upgraded. I have 5 years. Then I upgraded to my current MacBook Pro 14-inch M1. So we're at 4 years now. I think I can hold off for 1 more year. It seems like every 5 years is my cycle. Maybe.
I mean, if you were like, there's something wrong with this laptop. I mean, but
Right.
Are you saying that?
No, there's nothing wrong with it right now. I mean, maybe at worst I could see that the battery life dies a little bit longer, but I use my MacBook Pro as if it's a desktop. I leave it here and I have my iPad for like the couch or whatever. So I just keep it plugged in all the time. And if I travel, I may bring it with me, but for the most part, it stays locked here on my desk and it's very happy. It's very happy the way it is, And I do, since I do a lot of video editing, I do have to delete stuff. Like I'm actually at almost capacity on my storage right now. So I have to kind of keep, but I just need to move stuff. Quite honestly, I just haven't done that like housekeeping of moving stuff and then deleting stuff. So once I do that, I'll be, pretty sweet and not have to worry about that. So,
well, I think the storage stuff it's very personal, right?
Yeah.
It's some people are like, no, local storage, that's what I want. The cloud services, I don't feel comfortable with that. I mean, I don't either with some of them.
Yeah.
But between iCloud and Dropbox, I save a fair amount of stuff in the cloud. And a lot of that stuff is, and again, this is very specific to me, but it's like, I will record a podcast, save it to iCloud, go over to another computer where I'm just like more comfortable doing editing, do all that stuff. And then that file can just go away because now it's been uploaded everywhere. Like nobody needs that file from me anymore. So that's, but let's say you're a photographer, a videographer, you're gonna max out on storage quite a bit.
Yeah. I think about like the stuff that's more evergreen. Like if it's work that's like news or just, timely, yeah, you could get rid of that. You don't have to keep that. But I just think about all the like I have like concert footage. I have footage of, my nieces and and Seven. Like I don't even older stuff of my past dogs, Django and Sawyer and Ray. I'm like, I don't ever want to get rid of those. So that's the kind of stuff that the nostalgic stuff that starts to
Totally.
And especially now I'm like recording stuff in 4K. I'm like, oh, I really want it to look really nice and beautiful. If I ever show that, I'm like, oh, great. Now it's like taking up a lot of, data, even if it's just 7 running around in the backyard being crazy. I'm like, well, I hit the 4K button. So now it's a bigger file than it would have been, 4 years ago with my old MacBook Pro. Right. So, I don't know.
Just speaking of nostalgia stuff, my mom is coming down to visit in a week from now, and I just I'm thinking about being a kid, with mom and dad, and we have she has this I don't even know what you would call it, like a credenza. Like when you first walk in her front door, like there's this big credenza, and you open it, and it's all just like just photos, just photos, and I'm like, there's gotta be a way that, I mean, I know there is, but like, is there a way that I could DIY? Getting all these negatives just digitalized.
Yeah. I think there's services for that.
I know there are, but I'm like, I mean, we're talking like thousands. Oh yeah.
That's gonna be.
I mean, it's all in this one place, and and it's great. But there are some photos in there where I'm like, I don't even need the printed photo. No, just give me the negative, because then, if it's digitized, I can, print it at a variety of sizes, and, or whenever I want. It has become something that I'm like, all right, this is a thing. This is a thing we need to do. So if anybody out there is like, oh my gosh, Sarah, this is the service for you, do let me know. I live in Los Angeles, so I'm sure that there are a lot of independent places that would do this, but if you have thoughts, feedback at applevisionshow.com. I appreciate that in advance.
I thought about that too, because I also have a lot of photos that are not digitized. They've got the negatives like you. And when I was thinking about what to take if, things went south during the fires, I was like, oh man, these are heavy, like photography books. I mean, I want to keep the printed period, but in case I couldn't, I feel like I need to start thinking about that myself. Yeah. And there's so many years, and, I mean, I did pick out the ones that were most important. But it's that's a whole, it's heavier than just a backpack. It had to all fit in a carry-on, luggage.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, the idea of getting rid of some of these, getting rid of the credenza with all the negatives, like, now we're not doing that. But if that were to go up in smoke, and knock on all the things, that will never happen. But it's like, that would be something that, I mean, we will never get back.
Exactly.
Ever. So much of my childhood is like in that, in those little boxes, those little shoe boxes. And it's like, hey, you gotta think about that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, fast forward 20 years later, how many people are even printing those anymore? Like, I think my nieces, every one of their photos is uploaded, to the cloud, because it's all digitized through phone, or there might be a few, stragglers, like school photos, and they get the printouts, but they probably have the digitized versions also. A lot of times now when you get a print, you just automatically get the digitized photo as well. So I feel like people starting like now on don't have the problem that we have, those of us, who were kids way back in the day. So
I know. It's so true. Well, it's also, I know we're going a little off the rails into photography right now, but it's also, back in the day, to take a roll of film, right? Like, let's say you're like at a, I don't know, like some sort of party. Maybe it's like, your cousin's party, or, whatever. Like, you take a roll of film, like, it goes quick.
Yeah.
And everyone's sort of like, oh, can't wait to see those photos. And you have to go get them, get them done, get them back. Maybe get doubles, because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, if it's a good picture of you, you're gonna want the picture, but
Yeah.
I want that picture too because I was the photographer. Like it was a whole thing. It was
Yeah.
it was a whole part of taking photos.
Yeah.
So I feel like to have all that stuff just somewhere, digitize it, get it somewhere, and that
Yeah.
way we can either get rid of the credenza, or if God forbid something happens,
You're not
we've-
worried.
we
Yeah.
we have it all. And yeah, it's like you said, the younger set, they don't print out stuff anymore. I still do though. I mean, I don't have like my entire wall full of photos of family and friends, but at one point I did, because that was the
Yeah.
only way to be like, I love you guys.
Yeah.
And now I have a few, but I still want them.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to keep them. Yeah. And sometimes
Yeah.
you like to have that physical like manifestation. You know what I mean? Like you just
Yeah.
want to see it.
You're just like,
hold
that's a
it.
cute picture. I want to see it. Let's put
Yeah.
it up,
Yeah. I don't have digital, and pretty soon everybody will probably have that, but digital displays. I don't have digital, frames everywhere. I have just frames, with pictures. So,
Yeah.
oh man, I feel old.
Oh, same. Oh, same. Well, going back to Apple's announcements. So, okay, we talked about the MacBook Air, but we also, the day prior, got the M3 powered iPad Air in 11 and 13 inch as well, with an upgraded Magic keyboard that has the function keys, which that has never bothered me, but a lot of people really, really wanted that for new iPads. 13-inch iPad. Yeah, I don't know. I've never gotten to the point where I'm like, let's make this my primary computer. But I know a lot of people do feel that way. So
Yeah.
these are real nice machines.
They are. I'm happy with my 11. I don't think I personally, because I'm not a designer, I don't think I need the 13. But what's interesting is the 11-inch that's, doesn't, it's like the Econ 11-inch iPad that won't have, or that hasn't come with Apple Intelligence. Now, I don't actually use Apple Intelligence a lot on my
I feel
devices
like a lot
at
of
this
people
point.
are like, okay, fine.
Whatever. Yeah, at this point, because it hasn't really proven itself to be like so essential. Like the base price for the for these new iPads are pretty decent. I think I was singing the praises of the 16E, a couple weeks ago, but this is even better, in terms of just pricing, right? So, I think these are good, entry points if you're looking for, an iPad, or just want to upgrade your old one that maybe only has like 64 gigs. You're like, can't really do much with it anymore. Or maybe you are and you're just kind of hanging back. But when it has the headline doesn't include Apple Intelligence, I'm like, but like, do people are you sad? I mean, it's nice to be around and have it available should it ever becomes essential. But for the most part, I'm still, like I told you guys last week, it's not getting things right for me. So I'm still making it, I feel like we're, at least a year behind. So you got some time, right?
I actually also feel like the new iPad Airs. So I don't have one. In fact, I've never had an iPad Air. I've had
The Pro.
No, I've never had a Pro either.
Oh, okay.
When I was doing iPad Today, at a previous network, I definitely got a new iPad whenever they were announced, which included just sort of the new iPad, and then the iPad Mini. Which I liked, but eventually it felt too small for me because I'm like, I don't know, I want to read on iPads. Like, it's like, why, this is the same problem I have with iPhones, like a little too small to read on. But the iPad Pro was sort of like, oh, okay, this is now that hybrid laptop replacement, and some people really took to it. I've never just used that in my own workflow, but a lot of people are like, yeah, this is a laptop. This is exactly what it is, especially if you have an external keyboard or even a mouse or something like that, because you've got that hybrid model where it's touchscreen, blah blah blah. But the iPad Air, now, when you look at the specs, the iPad Air doesn't seem really different than the iPad Pro to me.
Yeah.
And I guess like slightly different form factor. And again, specs are very individual. I'm not going to knock anybody for being like, nope, the Pro is better for me for this reason. But for me, I'm like, I don't know why. Like I'm confused. The products seem like they're converging on themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, perhaps they're just going to like sunset one, at some point, and this
Yeah.
will just overtake it, right?
Right.
This is the one without, the Apple Intelligence is the bargain one, right? So, uh, it seems a shame not to just have it available in case there's something, uh, necessary or important, or that develops that you could, I don't know, maybe you could save a life or something like that. But I guess Apple has probably just figured out these are the different use cases. These are the different segments of our population, and they, maybe they want. I hate to say it. Maybe they want some of these iPad Mini people to move to the iPad 11. I don't know. We've speculated in the past that maybe they would sunset the iPad Mini, but they're not. So,
Yeah.
in fact, that iPad Mini has Apple Intelligence, unlike the one version that doesn't. So, I don't know. Maybe they're also just making sure that there's a cost-effective version of their device, and they don't have to worry about. And it's for like basic consumption, basic video consumption, basic reading, basic, web surfing. They don't need all the bells and whistles. They must have done some studies so that they know that there is a population that's just happy with that. Doesn't need any more, So I don't know, $349 for that's not, not so bad actually.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. We did this week also get new Mac Studio announcements.
Right.
So we had some fun on DTNS Live a couple days ago with Teja Custodi because we were talking about the various options that you might be able to get with a Mac Studio. Now, I'm a Mac Mini fan. That's all I need in my life. But the Mac Studio is obviously, the more robust fraternal twin of the two. And if you max it out, meaning that you're going with the M3 Ultra, that's a new chip. Not to be confused with the M4 Max, which you would think is better, but no, the M3 Ultra is actually the better chip. If you're maxing this out, doing your memory, doing 16 terabytes of solid state storage, which is just ridiculous. Ridiculous meaning that, once upon a time we were like, yay, 5 megabytes, cool.
Right.
You will pay $14,000.
Right.
So that now, if you're like, that's crazy, who's this for? These are for people who want to, push these machines, using neural processing networks, for, to the extreme. That's totally what it's for. If you end up being someone like you, Eileen, who's like, I just want, I want to future-proof my life. I do a lot of video, I need a lot of storage, and processing power is important to me. These are very nice machines. I mean, you can, I said $14,000 and people are like, wow, that's insane. If you go back to basics, which I'm trying to do right now, and kind of just go like, all right, let's go 1 terabyte storage. I don't need, extra bells and whistles type thing. You're looking at $4,000. So it's still, this is still a big jump, but this would be your computer that you would, if you feel like it's the right one for you. This is like your computer for some time.
Yeah. Again, I'm always on the comparison pages, right? And I'm looking at the new Mac Studio versus the Mac Mini, and then they have the Mac Pro M2 Ultra, which is $7,000 base price, right? You're like, oh my God. So this Mac Studio, again, I think for what it does is, I'm honestly like, if I had the funds, I might want this one for, I'm thinking about just having, a dedicated desktop. This I'm thinking, is for people who's going to really maximize, like if you're shooting 4K video all the time and you want to like
Right.
continue that, or you're
doing a lot of
making a
editing,
movie,
or all sorts of stuff. I mean,
all sorts of stuff.
Scott Johnson has one of the new pros, but the previous version, and he's just like, I love it. Or Mac Studio, right? And I love it, and I'm like, I want it. It does. You do sort of get into that place where it's kind of like when you're out and about. Let's say you're at at a cafe or brunch or whatever, and someone has like the cooler phone. You're like, oh, that looks great. It's not unlike wanting a handbag or something.
Yeah.
But when it comes to something that's like, this is my spot, this is my studio, this is my office, this is what I need, then I think it's important to have the conversation with yourself of like, what do I really need?
Exactly.
I mean, it's cool to get like the coolest version of what I need, but do I really need that?
Yeah, most people don't. I mean, think realistically. You try to think realistically versus like the desire of just the pure like want, right? It's like, okay, now we got to take a step back. Like, do you really need this right now? I mean, maybe it's a case of like, maybe not now, but like at the end of the year, I would like to upgrade, after saving a little bit more money, or after, really maximizing your computer out, where you're like, all right, now I need, I need more help, than my old computer can handle. Maybe you just wait a little bit, I mean,
again, knock on all the wood, but I feel like these new, and I'm talking about the, the M series chips because we're talking about Apple, but chips in general. And Qualcomm, another example of, a company that's doing some really inventive work here. It's like, I don't think that we're going to be in situations where when you have a nice new machine, I mean, as long as it's safe and doesn't have water damage, you're going to need another one in 3 to 5 years. It's like more like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Because they just do so much better.
Yeah. Technology has gotten so much better. I mean, that's why so many people don't upgrade their phones, as fast anymore.
That too. And I'm sure that's a head scratcher for companies because they're like, we need a way to make people buy more phones. But, or, computers in general. But if they're good, I mean, again, I didn't buy the iPhone 16, anything in the line. I of course I would want it if price was no, issue. But my 15 is fine. So I'm not buying it. And I don't know that I would buy another one next year. Unless, I don't know. I mean, like the entire thing changes.
Yeah.
It's like my phone works.
So the one thing we didn't mention with regards to the MacBook Air, like this could be a reason why some people might want to upgrade, right? Because now the MacBook Air M4 supports 2 monitors of up to 6K resolution. So some like that is like compelling. Like I know how it is to feel like, oh man, I have 2 monitors. And I can't imagine not having 2 monitors and having to have to really finagle my situation to get it to work. This now works. It's automatic. So I feel like there is a good percentage of people that will be like, that's the reason. That's the reason why I'm going to upgrade,
Yeah.
They
a lot of folks being like, Apple, listen to us. Because with again with a MacBook Air that can be portable but also function as your primary system, and then working with dual monitors. 16K, is that right?
for
6K.
6K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
I was
16K,
like,
I just made that up. Yeah. No, we're not there yet. It's right around the corner though. But yeah, that is cool. And Eileen, I don't know how many jobs you've ever been to, when we all worked in offices, where the company would provide a variety of computers and monitors and the like. There were definitely times where they were like, we'll give you a laptop and a monitor, and then you just sort of like use them together. But
Yeah.
ergonomically, that can be a little weird depending on what your like office cube like life looks like. And I actually got really good at it, where I was like, yeah, I don't need like a desktop, but like a tower. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. I just come in with my laptop, plug it in, and then I've got the nice thing going on. I feel like that's pretty commonplace these days.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like having the second monitor is always in a corporate situation. You just want those extra eyes. You want to have like maybe my email on the lower screen, and then my browser with stuff or whatever, PowerPoint or whatever I need to see that I'm like really working on, or for me, like Premiere or whatever, up on the bigger screen. So, you're not scrunching it up on one monitor. You've got, there's many reasons. I have like my laptop screen, and I have two monitors. So I have three going on right now. It may be too much, but for me, I like it. So it's just nice to kind of
I'm not
monitor.
going to say no to that. I only have one monitor on my desk right now, but it's 34 inches. It's
that's
a
big,
Dell
yeah.
ultra wide. So this is two monitors to me.
It is. Yeah.
I also
100%.
don't have room for another one.
Yeah.
I was actually telling Tom Merritt the other day, he was like, oh, but like you could like have like your laptop on the side. And I'm like, not really. This is a really big monitor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I think I would just be not living life well if I could just not figure out how to look at a few things at once on this monitor. I mean, sure, an iPad or something smaller in the corner, still possible. But otherwise, no, there's no dual monitor thing happening here. But this is essentially the same thing.
It is. Yeah. You've got a nice size, actually. And so you can have multiple, programs going, and, you split the screen, right? I have two 24s, and one of them is vertical. So, how you can just kind of like turn.
Yeah. That's
so
fun.
I've got one vertical and then the one horizontal. I've tried it because I saw a lot of people doing it for, in their setups. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. I can stack stuff on the vertical and then just have one big wide for you, which is usually like my video editing or something like that on the main horizontal screen. And then, like I said, just more productivity, email, stuff like that on the laptop screen. If I have that open, a lot of times I don't. A lot of times I just have the two screens. And I just kind of dock the laptop, off to the side. For right now, I have it all three open because I'm using the camera on the laptop, because I just don't like this Logitech one that I have that I bought. It's a little too wide. I can't make it be this what you're seeing right now. It's like literally like wide angle, and I'm like, you don't need to see my office is a little messy, so you don't need to see all of that.
That's so funny, because in my office, I've got these built-ins that I didn't do myself. They were here when I moved in, but like they're like really cool, and I have so much stuff in all the cubbies. Yeah, but you only see a few of them.
Oh,
and I'm
so
like,
maybe
I would want it to be like
maybe
wider.
You want this.
Right. Like
maybe
I want you to see every single cubby that I lovingly put old Apple products into.
Then maybe you need this, Sarah. It's only
Maybe so.
$60. Yeah,
maybe so.
on Amazon.
Well,
it's not bad.
All right. Well, we talked about new MacBook Airs, iPad Airs, and the Mac Studio. But before we get into what may be coming to the iPhone line, let's take a quick break. All right, Eileen. I know money is no option for you. So you must love the fact that Apple's first foldable iPhone may be $2,000 to start. Now, you
I
might
gotta
say,
tell you.
why would that even be a thing? Well, it's a foldable iPhone. This is a Ming Chi Kuo, who's a well-renowned Apple analyst in general, talking about this. So this is a good rumor. A foldable phone that would be 7.8 inches in an inner folding display, 5.5 inch cover display. So this is a form factor that you're kind of used to, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have I have the Flip, so I don't have the Note, the other version, which is longer and thicker. I think I would prefer to buy the Mac Studio for that money. If you were to ask me, oh, you've got the $2,000, Eileen, are you going to buy the new foldable iPhone? I'd be like, actually, Sarah, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on the Mac Studio M4 instead for my house.
Yeah.
Because I'm really happy with my phone, and I do love foldable phones. I think they're really, I'm not distracted by the crease or anything, even though this one, they're like, we're not going to have creases or whatever. I like the fact that it's compact, but this one, it's more of like a brick, right? It's more of like your phone, your regular phone, and then you just have more of it, more real estate like that. Why does it escape me the name of the Samsung the Samsung Fold, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that one, and quite frankly, when I went to the Samsung store before I purchased the Flip, I held it and I thought, this might be too much. I don't need this much real estate on my phone. So, and I think maybe because I thought, well, and then I'd always use it all the time. I guess it's a good thing if you use it all the time instead of just having it on the side, but I don't know that I need it, but I think it's a good attempt for Apple I think Apple should have a Flip type phone, whether it be like the Samsung Fold or like the Flip.
Yeah.
But that's a bit steep. So,
oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean that when I saw the $2,000 price tag, and again rumors, but I was like, that's insanity. I mean, $1,200 to me is insanity, but you do it when you do it. But yeah, it kind of got me thinking about the whole foldable revolution has been going on for a few years now. It's like every year at CES and obviously other trade shows, you've got these companies. Apple is not the only one, certainly, and not the first. Yeah, like you said, Samsung, Motorola, Oppo, they're all trying this stuff out, trying to figure out like what is the foldable sweet spot? What is the right size? What do people want out of a larger phone that can then be a smaller phone during transit or when you're just quickly, looking at notifications type thing? I get all of that. I do. But I don't know. When I think about like, do I want my iPhone to act that way? It's like, I'm probably not thinking of a use case where it will change my life for the better. But the answer is no. It's really expensive. It's going to be heavier for sure, which, I mean, I don't want heavier. And again, it kind of, that folded out version feels like an iPad mini to me, which was always like kind of big, but not big enough for me to do stuff on. I'm like, I'll just pull my laptop, and do that stuff anyway. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. This also is not expected to be happening, in shipping and any of our hands until 2026 at the earliest. So again, this is something that may go into production. We shall see. But I am interested as to who's like, no, this is the form factor that I want. If you do feel that way, let us know. Feedback at applevisionshow.com.
So just to look at comps. I did look up the Fold. The Fold is $2,000. I mean, the 256 gig is $1,599, and the 512 gigabytes is 2,000, and the 1 terabyte is
Okay.
22.
All right.
So
Apple's
it's
not
comparable.
going totally crazy.
Yeah.
here.
So I like, my reaction is because I didn't know how much the Fold is, but now that I've looked at it, I'm like, all right, these are competitive prices.
Yeah.
The thing I think about is that this person will not have an iPad. This person will just have a phone, but who wanted an iPad, right? And decided that they're just going to do one device and, be able to do some of the things or see things, in a wider way that they could eliminate one device. That's kind of that's one segment of the consumer behavior that I think it could be. And then, certainly if there is, a pencil, then again, that replaces the need for a tablet for some people. They're like, oh, I'm not really a designer, but I like having the bigger screen every once in a while, especially to watch video, but I just want to carry one thing. I really do think there is a person like that. But then there's also the people that just want everything, right? So I'm going to put them aside. So I think there could be some people that would, decide, okay, I'm going to consolidate. I'm going to not have as many devices, and this will be the thing. Instead of like sometimes when I travel, I do carry my iPad and my phone. So instead of having that, just have this, right? I like me personally, I like having the wider screen for watching things if I'm traveling, because I'm not necessarily going to watch it on my phone. But I think there's something for everyone out there, Sarah. There
definitely is. And I continue to sort of like, I wonder how these companies toe the line between let's give Eileen exactly what she wants. Like,
I know.
This foldable device is perfect for her. So now she doesn't have to, pack her iPad or even her laptop at some time. And, that's great. But at the same time, it's like, all right, you're also introducing things that people will love and not upgrade.
Yeah.
The yearly upgrade thing, every company is different, but Apple is definitely getting to that point where it's like, people say, oh, it's just an incremental upgrade. Well, it's because you like your phone, you like your iPad, you like your laptop. It's incremental because you don't need it.
Yeah.
But, if you were 5 years out, you'd be like, oh, thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, I held out.
This is the perfect device for me. Yeah. But the more that people are like, oh, no, this is awesome. I don't need to upgrade. It's like, then it turns into a conversation of like, well, how many people are upgrading? I mean, people will for sure, but are you amassing more users all the time? I don't know. I mean, I feel like, the market for Apple users, and yes, there are, there's like the China market, which is a whole other conversation of, what availability, for Apple is in the country and that sort of thing. But just thinking globally, if you have a great Apple product and you're really happy with it, which you should be, right? Because you spend all that money, you don't want to just throw it away and get a new one next year. That's crazy. You would want it for as long as you want it.
Right. Because most of us don't have that sort of that income that like, oh, I could buy one every year. I mean, it's just so. I was just thinking as you were saying that, globally, like I would love to know data of like which countries use, or would be more likely to use a fold type phone versus the regular phones that we have now, which, I would love to see that sort of data set, like which country is using more iPads, which use, and why, not just which, like you could probably find that number out, but like, why are they using it more than maybe another country, right? And I feel like those are the kinds of things that leads not only just to push innovation, but that leads a company like Apple to be like, all right, I guess we'll go into that after all, because we've seen the trends,
Yeah.
of this happening in this country, and this, it's worth it because we think we could, profit from, adding another type of device to our arsenal of products. So I don't know. Those kinds of things I always think are really interesting. Why to consider it at all? Is there just an overwhelming need and desire that, or just use case that Apple's like, well, now we got to get in there and be the competition. We need a cut of that, that's going down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Apple is getting a big cut of lots of stuff going down these days. We will continue to monitor it here on this show, even though we're not financial experts. But Eileen, I wanted to, before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you. So you have AirPods, right?
No, not any. I mean, I have the Max, and I have these Beats now. I don't have the AirPods anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, comparable. All right. Yeah. So, Apple, I have a pair of AirPods Pro, the 2nd gen, which I love. I held out for a long time because I was like, they're so expensive. There's so many other third-party companies where I could just do the same thing, which is true. But the AirPods, they do work really seamlessly with, your phone, your Apple Watch kind of thing, if you want to be part of the whole ecosystem. Anyway, Apple has some thoughts on how you should clean those AirPods because, as anyone knows, anything that you put in your ears on a regular basis will get ear funky. It will.
Yeah.
So Apple has an official Belkin AirPods cleaning kit, which you can buy, or says, okay, if you want to DIY, because we're Apple, we love DIY, right? You use a certain kind of basically a face wash, right? They call it like a macular water, but it's a face wash from either Bioderma or Neutrogena. Okay. Something I can get at CVS. Okay. Yep. Distilled water. Okay. I can kind of do that. A soft bristled children's toothbrush. 2 small cups. And a paper towel. The whole idea is that you're using the water, the toothbrush, mixed with the soap, the cups to basically like help the toothbrush, in between sessions. But I'm like, okay, listen, I realize I'm not. I'm a human, and humans, we have earwax, and anything that you put in your ears, it's like you have to, you don't have to clean it out, but like if you want to, it's pretty obvious. But I'm like, I've never thought to clean my AirPods with a toothbrush. I just felt like I could just sort of like rub it off with like
your finger,
like a makeup remover, wipe type thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have to think about this a little bit more.
It's like, I don't know if you've ever used, now this is TMI, if you've ever used like the earwax stuff to get, if you go to CVS and there's these drops and there's all different kinds of devices to get earwax out of your ear if you, have a lot of earwax. I think that reminds me of this brush, on the Apple site, and maybe just your ears are cleaner than others, Sarah.
Maybe yes, maybe I have unusually clean ears. No, listen, I'm not gonna say that I have the cleanest ears ever. I mean, things do build up, and I've always felt that way about in-ear anything. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like if you were to wear the same T-shirt to the gym, every day, like eventually it's like, no, it gets funky.
It does.
You have to, you gotta clean your shit.
I really have not thought about getting these cleaning kits, but I don't know. They seem affordable, but like you said, we could just do this recipe of the soft toothbrush.
Soft bristled children's toothbrush, Eileen.
I know.
Not an adult toothbrush. No. Not for our AirPods.
Yeah.
It has to be a children's toothbrush. No, that it made me laugh. But no, it's a good reminder that stuff that you have on your person. I mean, the ear thing is like very specific because it's like in your ears, right? But but even just I don't know, an occasional like my iPhone needs a little bit of a wash. You're not gonna like wash that in the sink, but something that feels like it's just there's a lot of germs happening with things that we touch all day every day.
100%,
including our own tennis shoes.
I touch 7 and it's like, oh, he's a little bit dirty, and then I might pick up my phone right afterwards and I've just gotten that dirty on the back, right? Like there's just stuff like that. Yeah,
totally.
I'm like, have I actually swabbed it?
Otis will lick my phone sometimes and I'm like, I love you, but that was uncool. Like we have to do a whole thing now, with Lysol, just to be careful for all of us.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You really never know. Well, what you can know is that we do the show every week. This was episode 51 of Apple Vision Show, and Eileen and I, and Amos, who's mostly in the background, although Amos, come say hi anytime you want. We are thinking and hoping that this would work well for the live folks to move the live taping to Thursdays, immediately post DTNS Live, which would be roughly 2 p.m. Pacific time. Let us know if that works for you. Hopefully it does. It kind of works for us better than it has in the past. Mondays, just, I don't know. Life gets in the way. So yeah, please let us know. But yeah, this was fun, Eileen.
Yeah. Another week in the can.
Another week in the can. Episode 51 in the can. We'll be back for episode 52 next week. Until then, watch out for Apple News and send it our way. Feedback at applevisionshow.com. Talk to you next week.
Bye. I probably could have used this cleaning kit. Oh, I know. I was like, oh, I guess you don't want to talk about it. Did you not watch it? I was like, I wonder if she didn't
I just
watch
forgot.
it.
Like we were just like cranking, so I was
yeah.
oh yeah. Oh, we're done.
We're done. Oh, because the finale is on the 21st. And I just saw that.
I'm already upset about it.
Yeah. Last week I liked last week's episode quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's getting hectic.
Yeah,
it's getting hectic at Lumen.
Last week the Gemma centered one.
Yeah,
which was what was it called?
Hare Krishna.
Trojan's horse, wasn't that?
Nope.
Attila.
Yeah,
that was hers.
Now I gotta look it up.
I know. Same.
So
I was like,
so Woe's Hollow was the one where they're outside, they're camping. That's for sure, that one. And then Trojan's horse is the one where they're like, "We hate you, Helly," and she's like, "No, it's not. It wasn't me." And then okay, yeah, no, you're right. Attila is the one about Gemma.
Let's see.
Is it?
No, it's Chiquita.
Chikai Bordeaux. Chikai Bordeaux.
Oh.
Yeah. Because Sweet Vitriol is the next episode coming out tomorrow. Oh, it's only 37 minutes? That's so short. It's 37 minutes. I'm like, wait,
Everyone
what?
dies, Eileen. Everyone dies.
I'm used
I'm
to
just
the 15
kidding.
minutes. 15 minutes. I'm like, wait, 30. This is the shortest episode yet. Is that because we're gonna get an hour and a half for the finale or something like that?
The Gemma episode, I was like halfway through it, I was like, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I need to start this over. That was a lot.
It was intense.
It
So many
was.
rooms. And I'm like, oh, so many possibilities. That's where I'm like, oh, this is why this.
Well,
series
and
could
it was
keep,
always like the overhanging question of like, what happened to her?
Yeah.
Oh boy. No spoilers. We're not spoiling. But
We're kind of spoiling.
well,
Hey, this is not going into our episode anyway. This is for the live viewers. So.
I'm really a fan of anytime Ben Stiller actually directs the episode himself, and he's going to be directing episode 8 and 10.
Oh, he gets the
Cool.
finale. Okay, the finale, and then this
He
short
did
one.
he did about half of season 1.
Oh, he
And
did?
he's-
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's an amazing director, and being as involved as he is in the show, it kind of his vision kind of comes through a little bit.
yeah.
So yeah, episode 8 coming out tomorrow, and then episode 10, the final episode of the season, called Cold Harbor, is also being directed by Ben Stiller.
Okay. So you're just gonna skip
Cold
9.
Harbor, which is what we've been trying to find out about this whole time.
Right.
And
Yep.
I bet you know who is going to come back in some way. Mm-hmm. All right. We're not spoiling.
I keep
We're
waiting.
just wink, 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 wink.
Like
Wink,
certain characters haven't been
wink.
around since like episode 2 this season. And it's just like, when are they going to come back? You know they're
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
100%.
No, I don't know. Like what I mean by I don't know is like, but I have friends who are like, oh, Severance. Yeah, I've heard about that. Or like, yeah, I watched the first couple episodes. I don't know. Like they're like in the snow a lot, that sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, you're either into it or you're
No.
not.
They're in the
I'm at the
office.
point. I'm at the point now where like if people ask about it, I'm like, don't watch it.
Oh.
Don't. Because
Really?
if you haven't started watching it and been interested by it and they're sucked into it by now, I don't even know how to explain to you what the show's about at this point. Like,
Yeah, but you could always. Oh, you mean like if they've never started it? Because maybe at the end of this season, somebody's just going to go binge the first 2 seasons
yeah,
and be
it's-
like,
I don't even.
I
I don't know how you catch up to this because there's so much going. Like you'd have to watch. I don't know. I basically watch every episode twice. So
Same. I mean, not every episode, but there are certain episodes where I was like, that was good. I think I missed something. Let's start
Yeah.
over.
Well-
like not like right back to back, but I'm like the next, if I have like, a spare hour the next day, I'm like, let's like, I need some more intel. on
I
what
watched the
happened.
episode and then I watched the Screen Crush breakdown of it, the new Rockstars breakdown of it, and like 2 or 3 other breakdowns of every episode right after I watched the episode. So when I watch an episode of Severance, as is the case with any show that I'm really into, I end up watching other people's breakdowns for the next 2 hours afterwards. So I basically watch it twice at least because I'm
Yeah.
seeing it,
There
through other
are
people's
actually
eyes.
certain shows that I listen to because I love podcasts and breakdowns. I will listen to them first and then watch the episode, which is weird because I don't like trailers because I don't like spoilers.
Spoils, yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, if like it's a trusted person that I feel like they're gonna have like a really good sense of what this was all about and and that sort of thing. Sometimes I will like walk my dog for an hour or 2 and be like, all right, now I'm ready.
yeah.
Because instead of me just being like, what's happening? It's like, I know what's happening.
Yeah,
My
sometimes
trusted
there's-
friends have already told me what's happening.
There's some shows that are just so dense that it's good to have the primer of a review before you go
Totally.
into it, just so you're prepared.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like spoilers either, so I don't like trailers. I'm the same boat.
Yeah.
But there are times when I'm like, I should really just go ahead and catch up on this before I catch up on this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Should we say
Well,
goodbye to everybody?
good
Yeah,
show.
let's say goodbye.
As always, thank you for everybody, to everyone for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, lives. People
Ta-ta for now.
lives.